The phrase "Introduction to King Solomon," a historical context, invites us to explore the rich backdrop of one of history's most fascinating monarchs. King Solomon, the son of David and Bathsheba, ruled over the United Kingdom of Israel circa 970 to 931 BC. Known for his wisdom, wealth, and extensive building projects, Solomon's reign is often viewed through the lens of a golden age in Israel's history. However, his story encapsulates both the heights of leadership and the pitfalls of excess and poor judgment. Understanding Solomon's historical context is crucial as it lays the groundwork for analyzing his rise and subsequent decline. It's a narrative that offers timeless lessons in leadership, the importance of wisdom, justice, and integrity, alongside the perils of hubris and moral lapses. Two poignant examples from Solomon's reign illustrate this. First, his famous judgment in the story of the two women claiming to be the mother of a child showcases his wisdom and deep understanding of human nature. This tale underscores the value of discernment in leadership. Conversely, Solomon's later years, marked by his accumulation of wealth and foreign wives, leading to idolatry, highlight how personal failings and compromises with core values can lead to downfall. Supportive opinions often point to Solomon's Proverbs, a collection of sayings attributed to him, as evidence of his enduring wisdom. These texts continue to resonate with leaders seeking practical guidance on managing people and responsibilities with insight and fairness. However, the Bible also portrays a more complicated figure, whose decisions eventually led to the division of his kingdom after his death. This underscores a major controversy. Can Solomon still be considered a paragon of wisdom, given the ultimate consequences of his reign? Some scholars suggest that viewing Solomon only through the results of his actions dismisses the broader context of his achievements and contributions. In connecting these historical elements to the broader topic of leadership, Solomon's story teaches that greatness is often tempered by human frailty. His ability to acquire immense wisdom and wealth did not shield him from the vulnerabilities that accompany power. Consequently, exploring Solomon's context helps us appreciate the interconnectedness of his leadership qualities with the broader narrative of rise and fall. As leaders attempt to navigate the complexities of modern challenges, Solomon's life serves as a rich tapestry, illustrating both the potential heights of visionary leadership and the dangers of losing sight of foundational principles. Solomon's early reign and wisdom are pivotal to understanding his ascent as one of the greatest biblical figures in leadership history. This period marks Solomon's transition from being the favored son of King David to a monarch renowned for his remarkable wisdom, a gift he is believed to have received from God. Solomon's wisdom is not just an abstract notion, but a profound, practical sense of judgment and discernment that he famously demonstrated when he resolved the dispute between two women claiming to be the mother of a child, suggesting to divide the baby in two. This astute decision testifies to his deep understanding of human nature and justice, and helped solidify his reputation as a wise and capable ruler. The significance of Solomon's wisdom in the broader context of his reign is immense. It underpinned his diplomatic success, allowing him to forge alliances through marriages and treaties, thus ensuring peace and prosperity for Israel. Furthermore, his intelligence attracted leaders from across the world, like the Queen of Sheba, who came to witness his reputed acumen and were left in awe. This golden start to his reign not only increased his political power, but also enriched the cultural and intellectual fabric of Israel, making Jerusalem a center of learning and governance. However, the application of Solomon's wisdom also showcases the complexities of leadership roles. For instance, the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem is a testament to Solomon's strategic execution capabilities, blending logistics, religious unity, and cultural pride. Similarly, he exhibited economic acumen by establishing trade routes that bolstered Israel's treasury and influence. Despite these accomplishments, Solomon's wisdom and the ensuing prosperity were not without critique or controversy. His extensive taxations and labor demands led to long-term dissatisfaction among his subjects, planting seeds for the kingdom's eventual fracturing after his reign. Critics argue that while Solomon's wisdom led to short-term gains, its execution lacked foresight in addressing internal unrest, a critical leadership lesson in balancing ambition with sustainable governance. Solomon's early wisdom directly ties into other elements of his reign, such as his pursuit of grand projects and international esteem, but also hints at potential downfalls stemming from overextension and domestic discontent. Therefore, the tale of Solomon's wisdom and its implications offer profound lessons on the dual-edged nature of leadership, cautioning leaders to wield their gifts judiciously in balancing ambition with empathy and practicality. The construction of the temple, often referred to as Solomon's Temple, stands as a monumental symbol of both King Solomon's reign and the prosperity of ancient Israel. This grand edifice not only served as the spiritual center for the Israelites, but also represented the zenith of Solomon's wealth, wisdom, and political influence. The temple was a tangible manifestation of divine favor and national pride, reflecting the economic strength and cultural sophistication of Solomon's kingdom. Its significance in the narrative of Solomon's leadership is profound. The temple epitomizes the peak of Israel's prosperity under Solomon's rule, showcasing his ability to unify his people under a common religious and nationalistic banner. It was also a statement of power and prestige, placing Israel on par with neighboring kingdoms and displaying Solomon's skillful diplomacy, particularly in securing resources and skilled labor from other nations, like King Hiram of Tyre. One real-world example illustrating the importance of the temple's construction is the intricate trade networks and alliances Solomon established to procure materials such as the famed cedars of Lebanon. These alliances expanded Jerusalem's influence and secured peace with neighboring states. Another example is the way Solomon centralized worship in the temple, significantly impacting Israel's social and religious structures and reinforcing his authority by positioning himself as both a political leader and a pivotal religious figure. Opinions supporting the temple's role as a symbol of prosperity often highlight its architectural grandeur and its contribution to a unified national identity, as evidenced by extensive biblical and historical records. However, potential controversies also accompany this achievement. The immense resources and labor required for the temple may have strained the kingdom's economy and contributed to the eventual unrest and division following Solomon's reign. Moreover, critics argue that the opulence of the temple deviated from the spiritual simplicity initially intended in Israelite worship, thus seeding future conflicts. The construction of the temple is intrinsically linked to both the rise and fall of King Solomon. While it demonstrates his unparalleled wisdom and leadership, creating a lasting religious and cultural legacy, it also foreshadows the kingdom's vulnerabilities. The economic and social burdens placed on Israel for such monumental building projects perhaps signaled the fragility that would ultimately lead to division and decline after Solomon's death. Thus, the temple serves as both a testament to Solomon's greatness and a harbinger of the challenges that unchecked ambition and excess can bring to leaders and nations alike. Solomon's leadership style and governance were characterized by wisdom, wealth, and diplomacy, attributes that played a significant role in his ascent and eventual decline. Known for his legendary wisdom, the story of Solomon famously begins with him seeking discernment from God to govern his people effectively. This wisdom allowed him to make just decisions, epitomized by the judgment over the two women claiming to be the mother of a baby, showcasing practical application in governance and earning him great respect. His reign is often hailed as a golden age for Israel, marked by peace, prosperity, and significant architectural achievements, including the construction of the first temple in Jerusalem, a symbol of religious and political unity. Solomon's governance is significant in understanding his rise and fall as it encapsulates the duality of his strength and weaknesses as a leader. His wisdom brought prosperity and international renown, demonstrated by the visits of foreign dignitaries like the Queen of Sheba, who marveled at his court. Furthermore, Solomon's expansion of trade routes established Israel as a commercial power, benefiting from alliances such as the one with King Hiram of Tyre, facilitating the construction of his ambitious projects. However, his leadership also faced challenges and controversies. Solomon's heavy taxation, forced labor policies, and extravagant spending strained the kingdom and sowed seeds of discontent among his subjects. Despite his international diplomacy, his numerous marriages to foreign princesses, purportedly for political alliances, led to the introduction of foreign deities and religious practices, which compromised the nation's cultural and religious identity. Critics argue these actions diluted the foundational values of Israel and led to long-term political instability, contributing to the kingdom's division after his death. Solomon's leadership style influences broader discussions on the complexities of power and governance. His story serves as a cautionary tale about the potential pitfalls of unchecked ambition and excess, highlighting the delicate balance between wisdom and hubris in leadership. The contradictions in Solomon's rule open an avenue for debate on the nature of power, where his wisdom was both his greatest asset and eventual undoing. In sum, Solomon's governance provides rich insights into leadership's inherent complexities, where strengths can swiftly turn into weaknesses if not tempered with humility and foresight. Solomon's legacy continues to evoke discussions on the ethical and pragmatic dimensions of leadership, illustrating the timeless nature of his story in exploring human governance and decision-making.